Welcome to the 2021 Independent Creator Comics Awards, and let's get into awarding creators for their work in the comic book industry, starting off right away with the standout landscape and architecture. It's Enter the Wolf from Mike Seeley. And as you see in the room, we have DEE ALLEY, our host, and Barbara. And Barbara's here because tonight she joins the Hall of Creators, and she is going to actually tell you all about herself, but you can find all this information in our Hall of Creators. But for now, I'm going to pass it over to Dee and Barbara, and I'll be back.
Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I'm thankful to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for putting me in your Hall of Fame.
We really appreciate you. So, congratulations on making it into the Hall of Fame. I've been reading over, all of your work and your rap sheet. How long have you been in comics, like officially?
I officially broke in with my first job with Malibu Comics in 1989, doing gray washes, and I lied my way in. They asked me. I was trying to be an inker, and they wanted to know if I could do gray washes. I didn't even know what gray washes were, but I just said, "Oh yeah, sure." And came home, stepped off the plane, went to the library, and checked out a bunch of books. Did the job, and then they put me to inking 11 issues of Planet of the Apes, and that's kind of the apes. That's kind of how I broke in, and from there I went to the Ultraverse. I did a ton of books in Ultraverse, especially Solitaire. I did every issue of Solitaire.
Yeah. Those were amazing. I was looking at some of those, the ones that are available online, the covers and some of the interiors. It's just amazing work. How did you decide you wanted to be an inker?
Well, I dabbled a lot in acrylic painting up to that point, and I broke in fairly late into the comics industry, considering a lot of kids got in their late teens, early 20s. I was 29 before I broke in.
Okay.
My kids were already starting in school, and I was looking for something to do. And I'd been an amateur painter for a long time. And I actually got hired by Warp Graphics, Wendy and Richard Peeney, to do an acrylic backdrop for their convention booth. And during the course of painting this, I'm going, why am I hoping people buy my paintings when I can take my paintbrush and ink comic books? So I practiced for a year, and I went out to San Diego and got a job.
That's awesome. Of all the comic books that you have inked and eventually colored and done covers and everything, you've been all over the place and done amazing work. What would you say is your favorite type of thing to do, like as far as inking in comics? What makes something a really fun or good project?
For one thing, a good penciler is is key. That I don't have to use a lot of my time fixing things. I really like organic work. The buildings and machinery and stuff like that's fun. It can be fun, but it can be time consuming and a little boring for me. I'd rather get out there and do trees and bushes and rocks and stuff like that. I really enjoy that. It's not as restricting for me because I'm very anal about my inking. I spent 2.5 years on Impulse for DC Comics, and some of that was over Ethan Van Sciver, and his penciling is so incredibly detailed. It would take me forever to do the pages, but they looked amazing,
Yeah, definitely. So you have credits at, DC, Marvel, and Malibu, like you said, when you broke in. But now you're at Silverline, which I said you are a founding member, I think you said. And you have your own books coming out. You've got almost a dozen Kickstarters. How does something like that come about from having worked in the industry for so long and then sort of forming your own company?
Some of it's just wisdom and age. I spent a long time. I spent over a decade with DC and Marvel. I started in independent comics, and I worked my way up through Now Comics and Innovation, Dark Horse, Warp, and to DC and Marvel. And I spent like a decade with those two, and I kind of got burnt out on them. I stepped back re-evaluated what I wanted to do and realized that I really honestly, and from my heart, I really honestly think that independent comics is the wave of the future. I think that DC and Marvel are going to slowly peter out because it can only tell so many stories and so many origin stories and so many reboots, you know. And if they don't tap into good storytelling, and that's not censored by their corporate overlords, they are going to slowly lose their audience. I really honestly think independents are the way of the future. When Roland came to me a few years ago, he wanted to restart Cat and Mouse. We jumped on board, Dean Zachary, myself, and Roland started that. And we said, well, as long as we're doing this, why don't we restart Silverline Comics? So it's actually Silverline 3.0.
Yeah.
And now we're on our 18th Kickstarter, which is already funded. We're still in the middle of it. Go find it.
Yeah.
It's Sirens and Wolf Hunter. And my book, Divinity, I'm working on issue number 3. And when I hit 60, I'd been an inker all my life. Well, over 30 years. When I hit 60, I decided I wanted to push the envelope. And now I'm also writing and coloring, so expanding my resume.
That's very, very cool. So you started coloring and doing your own writing for your own book at 60.
Yes.
Which you don't look 60, by the way. So.
I don't feel 60, you know.
There you go. The one other thing that I did really, really want to ask was, is there something that you think, some skill or some talent or something that people can cultivate that will make them a better inker, or some tip or advice that you could give people that are just starting out now, no matter what age they're at?
Yeah. There is no age limit. I mean, age is just a number, so don't get caught up in that. The old adage, practice, 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 is always going to be true. But I think my most important piece of advice is when somebody gives you a critique and they tear your work apart, don't take it personally. It's, you know, that's going to just get you down. Listen to what they're saying. Take the parts that you think are important and ditch the rest. You know, they are not setting out to be personally mean to you. They honestly are trying to teach you. So don't get crushed and give up. Use that to go on and improve yourself, and then come back in and get ripped apart again, and then get ripped apart again. And sooner or later, somebody's gonna say, you know what, this is really good. I think I have a project for you. So don't give up.
Awesome. Awesome advice. Thank you. And congratulations again on getting into the Hall of Fame. We are so honored to have you.
Thank you. And I'm glad to be here.
And everyone, go check out our Hall of Fame and on Comic Book Advocates. As soon as this video ends live, you can go find all of our information and all the award winner stuff. Thank you so much, Barbara. I can't wait for the next issue. Well, hopefully next year we'll see you next year at the awards, winning again and coming back for the award. Thank you so much.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. All right, Dee, let's find out what it is to be a pair. We'll be right back.
Be a pair. Be professional. Be ethical. Be authentic. Be respectful. Remember, in this industry for comics, be a pair. Art provided by Chris Mad. Look up Chris Mad Art on Facebook today.
Next up on the show, we have the Comics Printer of the Year.
The selected people for Comic Printer of the Year are Artistic Express and Comic Impressions, who I actually have used before, and I really like those guys. So let's see who won.
And the winner is
Comic Impressions. Woo-hoo! Go, guys. You are the Comic Printer of the Year.
And credit to them, this is their 3rd year in a row, believe it or not, that they have actually gotten this honor. Again, tonight's episode is brought to us by the judges who actually spent time this year. We had 25 of them, 16 wound up voting, and they all picked the winners of tonight. And we want to take a minute and introduce our host, DEE ALLEY. DEE ALLEY, take over for a minute and tell them all who you are.
My name is DEE ALLEY. I am an editor and a artist over at the Comic Book School website and forums. I help run some of their live streams, and we've done a couple of anthologies now. So I just broke into comics actually in 2019, working with Buddy Scalera and Rob AnderSiN and all the people at Comic Book School, and I'm actually really honored to be invited over to help out with the awards today.
And what she won't tell you, she's a great writer as well. I've read her writings, and I am impressed by them. And you can check her out on Facebook. And we're going to show you where right now. There you go. Go check out DEE ALLEY on Facebook. Friend her and encourage her to create new worlds. And speaking of creating new worlds, when you create them, you have to sell them, right? So our next award is Best Comic Display at a Comic-Con. Go for it, Dee.
Okay. I apologize if I butcher these names, but the nominees are Orini Kampen Productions. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Please forgive me. CONTINUUM Comics, Edward David Finish Line Comics, and Rob Malteri of Lone Wolf Comics.
I just want to say before we announce the winner on this one, everyone did a fantastic job. I look at this. We learn from each other. And everyone in this did some amazing stuff. And I'm very impressed by everyone this year. And the winner is?
The winner is CONTINUUM Comics. Congratulations.
Didn't expect this one, I'll be honest. This was actually one of my best setups ever. I just kept getting more tables. Believe it or not, it got bigger than this at one point during that show. People kept leaving. It was that kind of show. So, but huh? I know. Go ahead.
It looks, I mean, I was going to say it looks good.
It was, I wish I could do that at every show. That was a nice little setup I had going on. Not every show you get that much room. We were talking about putting in a gaming system in the back room, maybe even a porch. So that's how much room we had. But everyone asks me all the time, what is indie? Like, what are you talking about, Rob? What is indie? So let me explain. Independent, next-gen, diverse, endless entertainment.
Let me, Indy.
So I know Dee's just like rolling her eyes because she's a graphics person, as she said, but that was our announcement. And since then, I've changed how people look at indie because I do think that some people have made indie a almost toxic thing. So I wanted to make a place where people understood there's actually ethics involved. Notice the 2 videos we showed today talked about ethics, kid. Be ethical while you're in the comic book industry. And maybe you can win the best indie character brought to life if you like to play dress up, which I don't. Be.
And yet, there's somebody in this category who looks quite similar to you, my friend. The nominees for Best Indie Character Brought to Life are Derek Jefferson with The Other as Responders, and Bobby Gregory as Cat Dad from Cat Dad and Supermom.
And believe it or not,
the winner is Cat Dad.
The winner is Cat Dad. Like I have to be honest, like there's nothing that made me feel as self-confident, self-conscious as that outfit. But this, I have to admit, is one of my favorite pictures. It's Cat Dad with Santa and Jax. And Jax gets it all real easy. He gets to cosplay himself at every event without even a second thought now. He's always in cosplay, just being himself.
Allie looks good doing it, so.
Yeah, he's cute as can be. All right, we're happy to announce that this year the colorist of the year goes to Carrie Ann, and there she is with some amazing Belial's in there, some other great campaigns that she's been part of. Congratulations this year to Annie and Carrie Annie and Annie. Is that how you'd say it?
Carrie Ann.
Ann. Is it Ann? That E throws me so much. So congratulations. And go check the Annie movie out. All right, so moving on. We're going to be doing Best New Series.
Ooh, Best New Series. Okay. me see if I can read these really well. So the nominees for Best New Series are Good Boy, created by Garrett Gunn and Christina Blanche. Boots, which you'll forgive me, my Japanese is not good enough to read those names, but we know that that's the comic name. And Eclipse by Mike Seeley.
And I want to congratulate everyone, because Boots is great and Good Boy is great. And Eclipse, of course, I'm going to say it right now. Eclipse is like amazing to know that Mike started that when he was a kid and it finally came to be just this past year. So the winner is
Good Boy, created by Garrett Gunn and Christina Blanche.
And we congratulate.
That's an awesome cover too.
Yeah, that there is some great art. What I love about the awards is every year we get to meet new creators who are doing new things and showing off. Like, this is the best part of it. And I say it all the time. Enter an award not to win, but to be seen. Being seen. This is a 6-month process we just got through, and people have leveled up. I've had people reach out to me and thank me for the awards, because not only does the award matter, but just being seen matters so much in a place where everything's so noisy. We have thousands of views across the awards when we're doing them. So that is something to consider in the future. Make sure you put yourself in, even if you don't think you'll win. And remember, these awards tonight are not popular votes. That's going to happen this Monday when Chris Burgos and me take on the Fandom Bubble Awards. So there's a whole different thing where it's a popularity contest. This was your peers, people who back Kickstarters, artists, writers, who all judged this. And we used Google Forms. And if you're noticing tonight, these weird boxes and why we use them, these are taken directly from the Google Forms. They're the polls that they do on Google's, and this is where we're leveling up, and we have everything accounted for, and it made the process so much easier this year. So, of course, we're going to continue to next year and maybe even branch off and get all of you involved on some votes through Google Polls, and even you in the TikTok land who are hanging out with us tonight, because we're streaming for the first time ever live on TikTok.
Hello, TikTok.
Yeah. Our next one up is Character Design of the Year, and I want to see D in this next year.
Maybe. We'll see. So the nominees this year for Best Character Design are Fox by Mike Seeley, Cameron from Legends of the Realm. Let's see, that's Rob Matari, again with Silvermane from Nightwolf, and Garrett Gunn and Kit Walls for their character of Flint Sparks.
And now, before we announce the winner, one other thing, just to make sure everyone knows. On the actual awards, sometimes there were up to 12 different people, if not 20. We took the top 3 popular votes, and then there was a wild card entry. We're not going to tell you who the wild card was, because that's not important for tonight. But there were great entries in this year. It was amazing. What Mike did with Fox, and I created that character. I was blown away. And Rob Molitari, Garrett Gunn, and even the Legends of the Realm by Evans Scale, right?
Yeah. Yes.
There we go. It was all amazing. So this one, I'll be honest with you, just knowing behind the scenes, it was a close one. Like, there were 16 votes, and it was a close vote. But in the end,
it was Silvermane by Nightwolf, issue 5, created by Rob Moltari.
And
I hope I'm saying that right. Congratulations.
I think that is, but he'll yell at me if it's not. I'm horrible with names. D is here to help me with every single name. If I can not read a name, even my own name, I'd screw up tonight.
And I'm only slightly better than Rob, let's be honest.
Anything better is better. But this is amazing. This just, the art jumps off the page. Congratulations. And join the Wolfpack today. So what we're going to do right about now is we're also going to talk about crowdfunding videos. And for those who don't know, and I'm sure most who are tuning in know, we do crowdfunding videos on a show called Backer Pause, where we talk about all of this stuff. You can find out more about that by going to backerpause.com. The reason I'm bringing this up, there's a lot of pressure here. And this year, we had entered all the Continuum videos. I think that might have hurt us because we wound up competing against each other. But still, we did it. I was proud of everything I did. I know Dee can, when she puts a video together, will beat us all. When she finally does her Kickstarter, no one will win. She'll just blow us out of the water.
If
And I look
someone needs
forward.
one, they can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help. It is kind of what I do in my day job, though. So I think that kind of puts me at odds with most people in the video category.
But this was an exciting one. And just as a special feature, after Dee is done reading who entered this year, we're just going to play their video. How cool is that going to be?
Okay, let me see if I can read all these. So the first one is Born of Blood, which looks amazing. The second one is Eclipse, which we all know and love. It's also amazing. Also, we have, help me out with the name, Rob.
That's the original Continuum. That was Enter the Continuum.
Okay, Enter the Continuum. And then I don't have a name on this one with the film strip.
Heroics, look at the bottom. That was the Heroics campaign from this
Oh,
year.
okay, Heroics, cool. Then we also have Continuum. Which one is this?
Oh, no. I see what you're doing, Dee. Just as a heads up, they're doubled up. This is a harder one to read. So Blood, that's Born of Blood and Born of Blood. They're 2 frames.
Got
That's
it.
actually what it looks on the Kickstarter. So we're in a different spot. So my fault.
Okay. Yeah, I was a little confused by that, but that's okay. This is live. We're just going to continue. We also have, let's see, that's Monsters of a Cosplay. That's also Continuum, right? And then 8 Ball and Heroics.
And by the way, you got Rob's name right. He said it from the chat.
Oh,
You got
good.
it.
Thanks, Rob. Excellent.
So we're winning so far tonight. So without
Everybody's winning tonight. That's the best part.
And the winner is
My name is Giadas. I am the daughter of Cleomenes, king of Sparta. This is the first chapter in the story of my life. Be warned, this isn't a story for the faint of heart. Unlike most in your time, nothing was handed to me. My life was one forged with pain, punishment, and countless battles. When you read my story, you will see I truly was born of blood. Color this holiday season red with Born of Blood. Only on Kickstarter.
congratulations.
Seriously, an excellent video. I'm glad that one won. I mean, not that anybody else's was not good, but like that was amazing.
I think mine were pretty good. You know, it was pretty good. You know, it was pretty good this year. The art piece of the year, which goes to Mike Seeley. I like that character. That wolf character just looks amazing. I can't wait to write more about it. Very happy to see this character getting some love. He's very popular on the road. We will hopefully have a full issue by the end of the year. And we do have a few extra minutes till our midpoint of the events so far. So what do you think so far about the winners of the night, Dee?
I think it's an interesting mix so far, actually. We've got a couple things that I knew about, a couple things that I hadn't heard about before. I'm really excited actually to go back and check some of these out because I haven't seen a couple of them. Good Boy, I think, is probably one that I hadn't heard about before. I think I'd heard of it, but I hadn't seen it. So I'm definitely going to go check that out. So what about you?
I've been behind it for 6 months. So, I mean, some of the winners, though, when they came to be, look, I'll be honest, I'm a competitive person. So I want to win everything I enter. I am not going to lie. I am that competitive. But when you get beaten by someone who just did something better than you, you take the loss with honor because you're like, wow, these are my peers. This is where I am right now. I'm literally hanging out with these amazing creators in this award category where people are actually voting for me. Like, oh my God, like I actually got votes when that's on the table. So it's an amazing thing. We're going to run through a couple of comments right now. Because we want to show off the fact that the creators are showing up. Ari, what's going on? How you doing?
Ari, my counterpart at Comic Book School. Sebastian, hi. I wave like I can see you wave back, but you know. Hi, Raymond. Nice to see you. Heroes and villain designs would have been on that one. Not sure what he's referring to, but
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe we still have time in the Bubble Awards. The Bubble Awards end on Monday, so if you want to join and push, anyone can take anything at this point.
Yeah.
The top amount of votes, one person has 86 votes. That's not impossible to conquer. So if you want to get it. I believe this is Rob, who is telling about his name.
Okay.
Yeah, his name was right later. And then I think this was you saying
that was me. Yes, everybody was saying hi, so I said hello back. We're glad you like it, Raymond. And then Sean said, "You must have been smiling, Rob. How dare you? It'll ruin your image. Cut it out."
Hey, you know, sometimes you just got to enjoy what you do. Has got to be Good Boy, yeah? Good Boy, it's a good property. He said, I might be biased. I am the inker on the special.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There we go. Yep.
Name right? Yep.
And then he said yay because he picked up the win. And then Sean tells us it's John Wick, but reverse. Ooh. And that's for Good Boy, for those who don't know.
Okay.
So we're going to get back into it now. This is going to be the hardest part of the year and of this year's awards, I should say. And it's never easy to do. We went back and forth. We asked you guys what you wanted to do. What I figured we could do this year is simply a moment of silence to remember the people. So I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to take 1 minute of our show to remember everyone we've lost. So I'm just going to mute D so you guys get complete silence. We'll be right back, but just think of it this way. A moment to remember all those who aren't here with us now, but their memories live on in our minds and in our hearts. This is to everyone who's not here with us tonight to watch this show. Here's to everyone that we miss. All right, we're going to go on, continuing with the awards now. Here we go. It's Indie Publisher of the Year time.
Woo-woo. Okay, Indie Publisher of the Year. The nominees are Coffin Comic Shops, Big Dog Inc., CONTINUUM Comics, and Merc.
And the winner tonight is...
Continuum Comics is more than a comic series, more than an LLC, more than an idea. It is a bridge to connect all creators of all levels and unite them in creation and conversation while putting out content to entertain fans and inviting everyone in to the continuum.
And we have a
And
guest.
we're back. We got CONTINUUM Comics, the winner of Indie Publisher of the Year.
And I'll be honest, thank you all for the support you've shown us in this last year. We did have our troubles, and we had our fan base stand with us during all of our problems this year. So I appreciate all of you, honestly. The support you've shown got us to the point where we could even be considered for this. And I appreciate everyone who celebrated. This win is for all the fans who kept us going by supporting us through Kickstarters and all that. And I really appreciate. I couldn't believe that we won this one. This one was a big one for me. And this is a good moment to tell everyone who's watching. For those who won awards tonight, here are a few things. One, the awards are actually designed to be a little printout. You can print your awards; they're the perfect size for your printer. I did that on purpose this year. Everyone in the awards will get the file sent to them. Like I said, at 10 p.m. it will be live on comicbookadvocates.com. That I can send you a PSD, which means you can take the award itself out and put it on anything you want. It's your award for this year. No one else gets to claim it. So everyone gets to do that. Anything to add about that, Dee?
It's actually great for booths, your website, any social publishing and posting you want to do. Basically, it's bragging rights. So use it, promote yourself.
Next up, crowdfunder of the year.
Crowdfunder of the year, we have a couple different people here nominated. The first one is CONTINUUM presents Heroics. The second one is Naughty Fairies, Comic-Con. Merc Magazine, Death Rage, #1, Saving Face. And finally, Moby Dick, Back from the Deep, #4.
This one's pretty exciting. It's now, mind you, for this, there were specific rules. Yet they had to look at the video. They had to look at the image, just like we do on Backer Plus. They had to review the rewards. So people really looked at these and really examined them. And we're going to go into the winner, and, you know, they earned it. Congratulations.
No.
Moby Dick, Back from the Deep, Crowdfunder of the Year.
And
This
I will
one
say
was really interesting.
absolutely interesting, and it's so hard to make the obvious jokes tonight, but we're here, we're being professional, we're part of the awards, we're going to be ethical, but this is amazing. The idea that he took, there's such a timeless tale that has survived decades, and he has reinvented it and made it something amazing. He is on Kickstarter still, crowdfunding as we're doing the awards tonight. Please go to Kickstarter and type in Moby Dick and join the hunt for this badass whale. And we are going to be moving on to the one shot of the year. This one's pretty exciting because Comic Book School showed up in this one, and twice. And this was last year. We had Chris won the short of the year last year.
Yep.
Take it away, Dee.
So short of the year, we have Mr. Stupendous. And I think that one is the one with Doctor Who, which is actually one that I helped work on. So I kind of hope that one wins. But also we have The Corrupted by Chris Burgos and Tales Beyond, his crew. Torn Soul is Evan Scale and Jack Holder, which is part of the Cameron universe. And then we have Mascarian Tales, which I don't know personally, but it looks really interesting and I want to read it now. So.
Well, the winner is going to very much inform you about what you're asking about.
There you go. The only one that I haven't read, so I guess I'll have to go read it now. Viserion Tales, The Gem Job. One shot, or sorry, the first short of the year. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking that out.
And I can quickly read it. I know you're struggling. I'm going to hope to get this right. From my upcoming series, Viscarian Tales, Marauders, Mascapade. And this is, you're killing me here, Wendy, with all these big words. Renee Bree dreams of learning the talents of a rogue, but she has to escape the life of farm girl and find someone to train her first. In the Gem Job, she has already undergone some of the training and has been hired to retrieve an expensive bauble. The short showcases her abilities, and now she uses them and gives us a glimpse into the sense of humor. This is from Wendy Gale, creator of course, this project, and I'm excited to announce that she has been approved to do the Kickstarter. Her Kickstarter will be coming soon. This is an exciting moment. I love new creators coming up and just being seen, and this is so awesome that so many people saw the value in this, and it's badass. I've gotten to see it and read a bit of it, and I've read some of her work. Another great writer. I want to see more from her and more be in the mix.
Excellent.
So, congratulations to Wendy. Wendy's a great person, and she's also an editor if you're ever looking for an editor and she has time. So moving on. Sequential layout of the year. Now, for just a little bit of a heads up, we will be combining in the next year, just a little bit of a heads up because we'll return next year. And this will join Standout Landscape. And we are just going to have page layout more than likely take over both of those awards, combining them. Because next year we're going to streamline a few of these awards. So this will be the last year for this award. Take it away.
The nominees are Evan Scale for his Renaissance page. In Mr. Stupendous, In the Clutches of Dr. Wen. Also, Rob Multari, I'm afraid of saying it a different way now, from Snowpaws issue 1 in Mog Park. We also have Adam Fields, Point of Authority, Family Ties number 1, and Wolf and Fox in the Shadows layout by Mike Seeley.
And this one goes to
Evan Scale for Mr. Stupendous in the Clutches of Dr. Wen. It is an amazing page. Like Evan does amazing work. It's over the top. He's just really, really good.
And this award, of course, goes to the creator behind it as well, Ari A. Rubin.
A. Rubin.
A. Rubin. He gets to share this award. And where can they actually read this? Those watching tonight, because they can actually get their hands on it right after the awards end tonight, can't they?
They can. It's available in a free download from the Comic Book School website. It's one of the anthologies that we've done. We've done 2 144-page anthologies, and this is one of the stories in, I think, the second anthology. And so you can go check it out. It's completely free download. And if you want to get more information about stuff like that, you can always sign up for the newsletter there.
Now, one of the things that's awesome about not only these awards, but Comic Book School and all that, is creators working together. And we just want to take a quick moment and just realize that everyone has the power to create.
I have the power!
No, I'm serious. Go to comicbookschool.com and be part of the journey of creating. Take the power. Go out there. Be your authentic self. And one of the things that we want to showcase tonight is that these awards are actually brought to us by Comic Book Advocates. That's right. Believe it or not, Comic Book Advocates is behind this, as you see in the graphics. Comic Book Advocates is all about supporting creators. So we're going to go to TikTok land and check out what Comic Book Advocates is all about.
Welcome to comicbookadvocates.com on TikTok. For those of you who don't know what comicbookadvocates.com is, it's where the love of comics comes first. We advocate for creators, talk about Comic Cons, have a show called Backer Pause, show off what's in previews, and so much more. We even have a virtual Comic Con and educational resources. We have a partnership with Creative Contract Counseling. We're the home and the birthplace of the indie movement, which represents independent, next-gen, diverse, endless entertainment. It's the new indie that has no ego. We are part of Comic Books in Kids' Hands, which teaches people that comic books are educational resources. We do the Comics Newswire, and we have over 100 educational panels on our YouTube channel. The voice you're hearing, that's me. I'm Mr. AnderSiN. There's a big file on me. Remember to be a pair, be professional, be ethical, be authentic, be respectful. And if you want us to cover you, go to Comics News.
I always love how that just kicks out at the end of that video. That's the TikTok thing. Sometimes it happens. Now we're getting down to, these are the big awards. These really are the important. We're at the top of the show. We have one more person to induct into our Hall of Creators. We're going to take a quick minute. We're just going to make sure that we're looking at all of the different things being said by the people watching. So we appreciate the audience that we're having. We've just gotten a lot of thumbs up on the old TikTok, a lot of likes. Appreciate you all, but let's do some comments. And I'm sorry, I think that at one point we called someone not Murphy, and I apologize. Live shows, especially with me, I'm horrible with names. So if it was me, I apologize. And I even apologize if it was D, because some of these graphics are harder to read when we're doing it just from StreamYard.
Yeah, we're trying to get names right. We do apologize if we get it wrong. Thank you for correcting us.
Yeah, sorry about that. Jack Holder is celebrating because he works with Evan Scale. I really hope I'm saying that. Now I'm worried about saying the
Jack Holder and Evan Scale. I know those ones.
And then we get woohoo! Evan Scale knocked it out of the park on this one. I have to admit, and we're going to go back to that right now and just take a look at it to give him some love. That bottom part of it, especially that bottom panel, just it's like he looks like he is leaving the page when you look at this, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of ridiculous where we're getting. I'm trying to bring it up right now. There it is. He looks like that character, whoever that is, and I forgot the character's name.
That's Doctor Who.
Is it who?
Sorry, Dr. Wen.
Dr. Wen, that's what it was.
I don't know what you're talking about. Of course it's Dr. Wen. We would never use a name that someone else already owns. Anyway, he's running from Mr. Stupendous in the background.
And do you want to just tell him the premise of this 8-page challenge? Because you are the editor behind it. Give him a little love. Are you muted? You muted yourself. You got so excited you muted yourself.
Okay. So the second anthology was all wrapped around a theme, and the theme was the time in. You could do anything having to do with the time in. A lot of people did certain time travel stories. That's the word I'm looking for, time travel stories. Especially this one. This was a Reuben story, picking up his character from the first anthology, Mr. Stupendous. Ari is a fantastic freaking writer, by the way. And he basically challenged several artists to draw pages as Mr. Stupendous was fighting a villain, Dr. Wen, and they traveled through time, and each one of the pages had a different time element to it. So some of the pages were from Golden Age of Comics, Silver Age of Comics. Some of them were Renaissance times. And so each comic, it's not at all like Doctor Who. I don't even know where that came from. I must have just been in the wrong time. Anyway, and so, you know, everybody did a couple different pages in a very different style, and Evan just knocked this one out of the park.
Like, I have to admit, like, knowing that we were possibly here, you saw that, and like when you're competing, like I have to be the guy who's running this, so you have to be kind of cold with a lot of it. But then, you know, I get to vote too, and when I got to vote, I saw that and I was like, I hate them, they're gonna win. I just knew it because that bottom panel just looked amazing. Like, you know, I wanted to give myself like 10 votes in that. No, I'm kidding. Like, that was really good. I was really impressed by the art in this and the whole project. I wonder where Ari got the idea to use different artists in the 8-page challenge.
That's an interesting idea.
We'll have to watch it. We'll have to ask him one day.
Yeah.
And John Crowther joining us. Great show. Wrestling historians watching tonight. And Ari says, Dee drew the present day and the golden age. So
yeah.
finally,
but not half as well as Evan does. So give it up for him.
Congratulations. And that makes Comic Book School once again an award-winning anthology. Well, not the whole anthology, but at least something. You guys can still vote for different anthologies because that'll be the fandom bubble this Monday. So. All right, so let's get back to it. Time to give out some of the bigger awards of the night, and we're going to start over here with what is arguably almost as important as the cover of the year. We are, of course, talking about right now the splash page of the year. There you go, Dee.
Okay, the splash page of the year. The nominees are, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm sorry. Matt Skor, Monster Hunter for Hire. Ken Hunt, the castle page from Vlada, A Dracula Tale. Edward Davis Caesar Oliveira for his work on Immortal Era 4. And Murphy from Death Rage. The page is by give me strength. Well, don't take it away from me. I'm trying to pronounce it.
I was trying to unmute myself and hit that damn thing, so I wasn't looking at where my mouse was. I believe it's Emiliano, and it's because I knew someone with a similar name.
Okay.
Last name, you're on your own for the last name. I'm
going to go with Erdinola. I apologize if that's wrong. Please, please, please correct me.
Oh, it's going to be so
Flash page of the year winner.
It's going to be so hard if that's the winner and you have to say all those names again. Let's find out.
I'm going to try it all over again.
Here we go.
Ken Hunt, page from Vlada, A Dracula Tale.
The detail in that is impressive.
That is crazy. It's beautiful.
And I'm really excited about this and disappointed at the same time. There wasn't any real response to this one, which breaks my heart. But I hope next year we get to show how important it is for kids to have comics in their hands. As all ages book of the year goes to Cat Dad and Supermom, which came out through Scout Comics this year. We need more books in children's hands. I say it all the time. It is so important. My son, go to TikTok. You can see him reading a book that would have not been possible if it weren't for the original story behind Cat Dad and Supermom, the comic I made. I can't tell you how important it is to see your own kid learn to read and how much, and he's autistic. So please, creators, start creating comics for children again and look at it as an investment. If you can hook them when they're 5, you have a stream coming to you in about 10 years when they hit 15. So hook them while they're early. I don't know where that came from. I did grow up in Queens. Draw your own conclusions. We're going to move on to the creative moment of the year at this point. And this one's another big one.
Okay. The creative moment of the year. You're turning things on the side. You're trying to make this difficult on me now, aren't you? All right. The nominees are Torn Soul from Legends of the Realm, Sean Barber. Say it again.
Barber.
For Belial.
Belial.
You know, you asked me to come on here and read these things, and then you didn't give them to me ahead of time so I could practice.
That's not true.
And Pocus Hocus by Jay Burns.
And the winner is Enter the Wolf. Thank you all for showing up.
You wish. Read the actual winner.
I told you I'm competitive.
So the actual winner is Belial.
Belial
is double. Oh, I like that.
Right? This is amazing. I have to admit, if I'm going to get beat, this is definitely a creative idea. I want Link to have his own series, and this is the first start. Link is the breakout hit of the year. Let's make him have his own series. Let's get it done, guys. Congratulations to them. Really quick, I like Sean. Sean says, I don't know how this is out of the box, but Belial too. Sure, Brayden's the last. As the original ruler of hell, Belial faces off against the second and third horsemen of the apocalypse on a quest to reclaim what is rightfully his, with his trusty sidekick Link and a foul-mouthed imp who thinks he is bigger than his britches. Wait, he's not wearing any. It's sure to be a hellacious good time. Being quoted as Hellboy meets Mr. Pickles. Belial is one of a kind. You can find out more by going to InductComics.com. All right, so here it is.
Well read.
Thank you. I practiced. I really didn't. And just as a heads up, Dee's done an amazing job this night. Let's all give her a hand. This is not easy, guys. Doing this, especially live and trying to read this. And as you can see, I'm starting to turn them sideways because I got so bored at doing the 50th of it. You know, and you get creative and you start, it'll look good sideways. I totally forgot you'd have to read it.
Consistency, Rob. Consistency.
I'm going to really apologize. If you don't know already, the next one.
If I have to turn the screen upside, oh, God.
I did say it. I did admit that.
You're killing me, you know that? Cover of the year nominees are Chris Mad, Turkey Sharks, #1. Steph Wilson, is that
DeGina? Like
DeGina Dark?
DeGina Dark?
DeGina, so sure, we'll go with DeGina Dark. Good Boy, Kit Wallace for his cover on Good Boy. And Brat's Art for Strings, VHS variant.
And now I just want to say, the actual award ribbons.
Sorry, that's Bray's. There's no T there. Bray's Art for Strings. My apologies.
I would have gone with what you said originally. So the actual award ribbons that you're seeing this year, they were actually designed by Chris Mad 3 years ago. So I want to take this moment right now as we have him on the screen and thank him for donating and doing the art for us and having the awards for the past couple of years. This year, of course, we redesigned it a little bit, but his ribbon looked great. It was just how I was doing the coloring and all that. And I actually asked Dee when I first did it a few months ago, and she gave me some tips. So it's looking amazing this year because of Dee's help. And without further ado, the cover of the year. This is like one of the most popular ones every year. Remember, most of these are still up for actually fandom bubbles this Monday. So if you like what you see, and like Dee had said, that Good Boy deserves a vote. And remember, when you're doing the votes in the group, you can vote for more than one thing. Don't think you have to vote for just one thing. Vote for a few. But without further ado, like I said, the winner is
Chris Mad, Turkey Sharks #1.
I just want to throw some love. Look at the detail in the background of that. He puts the little things in the background that amaze me. An amazing artist. I've had the opportunity to work from Chris Mad. Congratulations. I can't wait to see you in MegaCon. We get to hang out. And I'm going to print a nice one for you and bring it to your table and make sure you hang it the whole week that you're with me at MegaCon. So tonight's has been brought to you by comicbookadvocates.com and the Comics News Wire. This is where we cover all the things you creators are doing. We're down to the last 2 awards of the night. So these are the biggest ones of the night. So here we go. Artist of the Year.
Ooh. Getting competitive now. Artist of the Year nominees are Mike Seeley, Wilson. God, that's a name I should be able to read. Steph Wilson, Oscar Pino, and Cesar Oliveira.
Is Oscar Pino or Pinto?
Pinto?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, somebody will have to correct us.
And by the way, just really quick, speaking of correcting, I just want to mention Chuck Pino is actually behind Belial as well, just to give some love to him as well. Sean and Chuck Pino are behind this. I was only reading what Sean had written, but I don't think we had mentioned that. So it just, luckily that reminded me.
Yeah, he got some love in the comments.
All right, so yeah, I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge Chuck as well. So the winner of the cover, and we'll show the cover again. Here we go. Take a guess.
You mean Artist of the Year?
Take a guess. You're an artist. Who do you think won? Just wild guessing.
See, I don't know. I don't know everybody in here, but I mean, all of the artwork is impressive. I like Pinto. You know, I love Seeley. Steph Wilson's stuff is really nice. And Cesar Oliveira's got that light background. I don't know, Rob. See, this is why you don't have me judge, because I can't ever decide.
Well, we have a winner.
And the winner is
tonight,
Oscar Pinto. We're going with Pinto.
Pinto. I think it's like the car, because I know the car Pinto is spelled that way. So, congratulations looking at those covers. Of course, some of the things that you see there are actually worked on by the wrestling historian himself, John Crawford. So we congratulate everyone involved with Oscar Pinto and all the work he's done. An amazing artist. Now, here's the last one of the night. This is it. Here we are. We're at the end. This is the big one.
Writer of the Year. All right. Our nominees for Writer of the Year are Edward Davis for Immortal Era, Kevin Pay for his stories in the anthology, I think, yeah?
Yes.
Victor Dandridge and Michael McAdam.
All these are amazing creators. And there was a point where Mike Seeley was like, why aren't you pushing harder to be in it? It's hard to compete when you have these types of creators up there. And I really didn't feel like last year was my best year. Doesn't mean I'm not proud of everything I wrote. It's just I hadn't put out a full issue last year. I wouldn't have felt right really pushing myself when I haven't done a full issue, because I'm getting there. And trust, all of you are on notice. Next year I'm coming for this. So just so you know, but some amazing creators here. And again, Kevin now gets seen by so many people in this moment. So it's a great moment for him. Michael McMahon does great things. I can't tell you how much I love Victor Dandridge's work on Never Too Late. And Immortal Era is seriously one of my favorite comics that I've noticed in the last couple of years. Real quick guess, who do you think won, Dee? And Dee doesn't know any of the winners. We did this on purpose.
Yeah, I don't. It's all a surprise to me. I mean, they're all good. I don't know.
All right, we'll go with the winner. And the winner is?
The winner is Edward Davis for Immortal.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Right? Great creator. I think he actually has a Comic-Con this weekend, believe it or not.
Does he? Oh, good.
Always getting out there, always doing something. And this is, he says in this, on his latest Kickstarter, this was the 5th independent publication. He's on Kickstarter again. Right now, the Immortal Era. You can get it. We don't hear about indie creators getting to issues number 5 and 6. The average thing is that everyone who does an issue 1, there's a 70% drop off of people who will do an issue number 2. Yeah. And then there's a 50% drop off that will do an issue 3. Of just that 30% that's left over, there's only a 50% that they're going to make another book. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? And he's at 6 on his own, an amazing series. Congratulations, Edward, on this great moment for you. Go check out his Kickstarter. Definitely. And speaking of amazing things, and I know, Dee, you're going to love this. I don't even think you know all the Hall of Famers, do you?
I don't know them all, no.
So our Hall of Fame is called the Hall of Creators. And you hear Jax is getting excited in the back. So here we go. This is the winner and our final entry for this year's Hall of Creators.
Nice. Definitely.
Yeah. And he has a huge list right here of all of his accomplishments. Dee, you want to kind of explain who we're looking at here and
So
his
Gamal Hennessy is not just a amazing person, but he is a comic book lawyer, and he realized that there wasn't a lot of resources for sort of the legalities of creating comic books, and he literally wrote the book about it. He has a website where he teaches a lot of the stuff that people don't think about when it comes to making comics. Production, gathering resources, the legalities, LLCs, owning your own copyright, and that kind of thing. And there's the book. It's an amazing book. If you don't have it already, go get it, because it's not like a difficult read. It's not legalese. It's plain English, and he explains concepts that most people, eventually, most artists get screwed over. Most writers, most creators get screwed over at some point in their lives from all the legal crap that goes on in both the comic industry and other industries. And this guy's got literally the book on the subject to help people learn about it. He's also got a site where he does classes, which I think is called...
Look on the bottom. That's why I brought it up. Creative
Contract Consulting is his website. But it's the Comic Institute, Public Institute. That's his classes. And Rob and I go pretty much every week. So it's a lot of good information. It's also very good networking. And so definitely, if you don't know who this guy is, check him out. If you're in comics, you need to know him. And he's like the nicest guy.
Absolutely. And I couldn't be prouder. By the way, you can find a link to his stuff at comicbookadvocates.com normally, because we're associating him for the legal aspects. If you need a legal representation, I could not suggest anyone more stand-up-ish, more on the side of it. And he's changing the game for us creators by getting us educated. For far too long, we weren't educated in what was going on. Thanks to this man, we are. He deserves to be in the Hall of Creators. For that very reason, he has helped creators be more successful and keep their profits. All right, guys. So that's it. That's the end of the awards for this year. It's been a great journey with all of you. I appreciate all of you. Monday night, March 28th, daylight time. I think it's Eastern Daylight Time. I hope so. The first Fandom Bubble Award that was picked by you. This is the fans have spoken. So you can still vote. We're going to be announcing the winners live. So what we're going to do is take a screenshot as we're actually on the awards show. And whoever we take a screenshot, that certifies their win. So all of you tuning in will be the orders that evening. I want to thank Dee for doing an amazing job coming and hosting the awards. Everyone encourage her. We want her next year to be part of the awards with her creation. We want to see that. We have 2 minutes, so we're going to do some conversation, some comments here.
Look at some comments. Where did we leave off?
Let's see. Ari said, I only used half as many artists as you did, Rob. I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, this was the comic book anthology that we did. My lighting is terrible. But a lot of the people you saw tonight were in our comic book school anthology. This is the first of 2. And we'll see if we get the second one printed sometime this year. But Rob's got a story in here. Ari, A.A. Rubin's got a story in here. If you're not part of the comic book school and learning about how to make comics better and connecting, networking, and being part of a community, this is the place to go.
Absolutely true.
So that's what Ari means.
All right, so here we go. We're getting a correction. It's Barbour.
Got it. Thank you, Sean.
And he said, "Oh hell yeah, that link, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. He is now officially getting his own series link. Congratulations, Chuck Pino, of course. I've worked with him. He also picks up a win, by the way, on Cat Dad and Supermom. My victory is his victory in that, as he's the editor, and a huge part of the heart that goes into that book. Chris Matt is badass. His Belial variant that he did for us was dope. Can't wait to be able to reveal what he does for issue 3. Hell yeah. No letter award? No. The reason we didn't, we touched on this earlier in the show. There will be one for the Fandom Bubble Awards this Monday. The reason it didn't make it here, every letterer screwed up, including myself, and actually listening to the rules to enter it. I was the only one to enter and put my name up in the top. Other people tagged letterers and we never showed up. So, yeah, we screwed that up. John Crawford says, Oscar Pinto, and he deserved that. That was a great thing. Chuck Pino is the man, and we're in the last 30 seconds. Steph Wilson is everywhere. He has my vote. Fantastic, Oscar is amazing. Did my work with Heavy Metal Magazine. How cool is that?
Definitely.
And I'm going to be on the Writer of the Year board for 2022. You just wait. Sean, I'm happy to take you. That's Jax. Say goodnight, Dee. Thank you all for tuning in.
Good night, Dee.